first Grand Prix special that was ever held in the history of the Europeans. The Grand Prix special was staged for a few years, then disappeared and then came back again, and you won the first one with Gigolo, and that was at Donaueschingen in 1991. Then you came back and you did it again in 1993 in Lippica, and both times the German team were also winners. So that's quite a record, quite a record. So your thoughts on today and the reception that you got and just how it's going so far?
It can't be better. No, I'm completely happy because Vaida is in really in the best shape ever, and this year it worked really well, and she's really constant and really focused and so honest during the competition. Today also it was a really focused, a very clear test without mistakes. She was really on with me, and a lot of I think precision. So I'm completely happy. It was the best feeling, the trot and passage tour I've had in a special, because she was really with me and I could take a risk, and it was always at the beginning I have to take care, like in the Grand Prix, but she was really like a metronome in the passage, and so okay. The only thing you can say is that the first piaffe could be a bit better when you know how she can piaffe, but it was anyway, it was I think good enough, but it could be more. But the challenge was not to take enough risk, but not too much to have a mistake, because I knew that the rest behind me, they want to make me angry, and so we'll try to fight. So that was really the challenge to start. Was really a top competition, and it worked, and I'm completely happy.
Yeah, the passage was dreamy, you have to say. It was wonderful. And nobody wants to make you angry, Isabel.
I don't know.
Maybe Sonka does.
No, I don't want to make her angry. But I would like to win.
Angry was a wrong word, but he wants to
put some
me.
pressure on. Put some pressure on. Sonka, what a wonderful day for you. I mean, what a score, what a horse, what a ride. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling now.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. Of course, I know my horse can do anything and beat anybody, but it's another thing to bring it in the show, in the ring, on the day you need it. And today we were very close in doing what we can, and we still had the one or two buggers, but I think all in all, my horse gave me so much and such a special feeling. Just the transitions from trot and the short side, you just have to sit back and you have a feeling he's on springs and he comes every time. And it's an astonishing feeling. I get goosebumps when I think about the feeling, and he gives me so much, and I'm really grateful for having him.
Did you ever think you might come close to beating this lady beside you?
Well, as I said, I know my horse can do it, and I never doubted from day one I sat on him. I knew he could beat anybody if things work out the way I would want them to work out. But as I said, it's always a different story to bring it on the day, which Isabel is so good at performing on the day, on the spot when you need it. And that's what we're trying to work on, and that's what we train every day for. And we're getting closer and closer, but we're not there yet.
So it's really all about beating Isabel.
No, it's all about the good feeling of bringing what we want on the day.
Yeah. So your family have quite some history in the sport. I see your father and your mother in the list of champions in various places, and your two sisters, Samika and Sanika, are both superstars in their own right. That's quite some family tradition. And you've ridden as a show jumper.
Yeah, exactly. We're just an equestrian family. We love horses. We're passionate about horses. We can't think of a life without horses, and I can really fascinate myself about a great round of a jumper. But I always thought when you have a jumping horse and you jump over a 160 obstacle, you get this goosebumps and this feeling you're on a roller coaster, but you can't have that on a dressage horse until I sat on Cosmo.
Really?
And then I thought, okay, yeah, he gives me that feeling as well. So
that's why you're doing dressage.
Exactly.
Excellent. So, Catherine, what a performance from you. And what a performance from your fabulous horse. I understand you've had this horse right up through juniors, young riders, everything. And Cassidy just seems to have this lovely relationship with you. Tell us a little bit about how you're feeling being in bronze medal position and sitting right beside Isabel Wirth.
Yeah, I kept some distance to not make Isabel angry, so yeah, that's the only why. No, I'm super happy about my test today. He was really more relaxed than in the Grand Prix. I felt he was more with me also in the canter today, so I could put a bit more pressure on him without taking too much risk. I'm just so thankful to sit here together with these amazing riders. It's been a journey from junior 7 years ago, bringing him up, young rider, U25, and then sit here today. It's really stunning, and I'm super happy and proud.
Well, having a 25-year-old and a 22-year-old at the top table is really exciting for the sport. But Isabel, we love you dearly.
We add up
As long as they sit there, it's fine. Huh?
You're right. Yeah, keep them in their place. Frances, talk to us a little bit
It's good to have her here.
Look, should I put age profiles all the way along? Frances, tell us about what the judges were thinking today.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate the medal winners, and you took the words out of my mouth, because if I look here to the left, I'm already old and I'm already for a long time in the sport, and we know Isabel as well, and she has won so many medals. But the other two, they are so young, and I think that's the future of our sport, that we have already such young people now on the top level worldwide. I think for us as judges, it was a very interesting class on a very high level, with super performances, especially the last group. But overall, I think it took at least 6 hours, but it looked for me like I was only sitting there for half an hour. It went like and one good ride after another good ride, and of course some make mistakes, but overall it was enjoying to judge it.
Excellent. So, we must have some questions from the floor. We've had very quiet press conferences up until now. Jan.
To Isabel, I heard you have been to the doping test, so were you able to see Sönke's performance or not?
No, because it was a question, should we do it before the prize giving or not? And then we were on the way to the stable, so I couldn't see him.
So, are you curious to see the video afterwards?
I think I'm focused, I'm sure I will be focused for tomorrow, and I will not watch now the other ones. It doesn't mean that I don't want to, it's just to be focused. It doesn't help me to see him and to become nervous because he had a good ride. I think I should focus. I know what we can do, I know what I have to do for tomorrow, and I hope we can bring it in the competition.
It's really fantastic to have such competition between two people from the same team. Anybody else with a question? Oh, Kim.
Congratulations to you all. Isabel, you have the young ones breathing up your neck, but isn't it true that experience is everything when it comes to horses? How are you going to keep them at bay?
No, it's all together. It's I think the secret. When it's a big advantage when you go in and you have nothing to lose and you have no pressure and you go and you are hungry to beat the other ones. There you can take all the risk you want to take, and this can be the advantage. Experience is an advantage. So I think it's a good mixture of everything here. And that makes it quite exciting for everybody.
And how amazing it is that both Catherine and Sönke's horses are only 10 years old.
Oh, maybe not. No. No, mine is 14, but I wish.
Yours is 14?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Sorry.
Teresa's.
Yeah, exactly.
So, another question for you, medalist. You all sit on horses that you have developed yourself. What do you look for in a new champion for 2024 or so?
For me, it's very important to have a horse that really is super energetic. That's like my number one point on the list. I really like them almost too much running forward, so that's that's what I'm looking the most for. Of course, the basic gaits, but you know, it's also quite different horses we're sitting on. Sönke is really from the basics, totally stunning. And when you bring Weigel and Pierre Passages, you're like, so you know, you never know when they get older, when you educate them and they develop. It's so difficult to say from a very young horse. But really, personality and energetic horses I'm looking for.
And I realise now, of course, if you had been 7 years ago with a 10-year-old horse, he would have
for the junior championship.
he would have been winning his
Okay,
as a 3-year-old. Yeah, so that was a bit silly. Isabel, will you finish up with a little thought about tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, we try our best again, and we will have a little walk tomorrow morning, and then I think it will be exciting. I hope we have a lot of spectators here and a good atmosphere, and Anyway, is a huge arena, but you think in this huge arena there are just a few spectators, but I think we had much more than in a lot of indoor arenas because of this huge arena, and so we see this is also important then for freestyle, for the whole atmosphere, and and then I try to keep the form we have and try to show it a little bit the same like in Aachen. That is my goal and my challenge, and I hope we see.
And hopefully 3 out of 3. And anybody else with a question? One more, Sebastian. Oh, Bergen, just 1 minute, sorry.
I have a question for the jury representative. I'm asking about the application of the blood rule. This morning a Swiss rider was disqualified for apparently a mark of blood on the top of the back.
Yeah.
And I understood that there were some discussions about Delaunay, Patrick Kittle's horse, after the Grand Prix. So I would like to know how the things are going about this blood rule, and maybe if the FEI is not going too far in the application of this rule.
My name is Frank Kemperman, chairman of the FEI Dressage Committee. I help the judges because the judges were not involved in this elimination. The Swiss horse, Mr. Arne, was today disqualified after the competition because the stewards found blood on the flanks, and that was the reason the horse was disqualified. So the horse was not disqualified by the judges.
No, and the steward came up to me, to my judge's box, and showed the tissue where the fresh blood was on, and a picture of the blood on the horse. So, and then we have to make a decision.
On the flank?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what about the Delaunay? What really happened with Delaunay?
You mean in the Grand Prix?
Yeah.
In the Grand Prix there were 2 horses eliminated. You have seen one horse was by Miss Eisenhardt, she's sitting right. She can give an explanation, but it was clear that during the test it was clear for the judges that was blood. And the other one was also after the competition. So at the same
But Delaunay was nothing. Sorry to disturb.
Who's that? That was
the one from Patrick.
That's from
There was
Patrick.
Patrick. No, Patrick was. It was the Russian horse.
He was fine.
The Russian horse and the Swiss horse. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the Russian horse that was in the mouth.
Are we good on that? Right, Birgit, last question.
Actually, to one side I wanted to support that so it was Kim that you wanted to have from all medalists. I think the idea would say